Butts with a CTV News update. Topping our news, a former Laurel police chief is behind bars tonight, charged with committing a string of arsons across the region going back nearly a decade. 69-year-old David Crawford was arrested at his Ellicott City home yesterday. This is surveillance video of one of the incidents. Investigators say Crawford set a dozen fires in Howard, Prince George's, Frederick, and Montgomery counties. Some of the fires were set in the middle of the night as the occupants were asleep. Court documents indicate Crawford allegedly had an enemies list. Targets included his replacement as chief and his stepson. At a news conference this afternoon, investigators discussed the case.
So we decided to release the video of the suspect committing the crime to the media and to the public to see if we might get some assistance in maybe identifying the suspect or something. A short time after that, Lieutenant Moe from Montgomery County Fire and Explosives Investigation figured out this suspect looked strikingly similar to his suspect that he had in a fire in Montgomery County.
This is a very complex case. It extended over a decade and involved multiple counties. As a result of their collaboration, communication, we were able to now get to where we are today. This case started in 2011 in Prince George's County. But again, the work of our investigators working together across multiple jurisdictions brings us to closure today.
No one was injured in any of the fires. Crawford, who also spent 20 years with the Prince George's County Police Department, faces a list of charges including arson and attempted murder. He's being held without bail. In other news, County Executive Angela Alsobrooks updates residents on COVID-19 stats and the vaccine distribution plan. The press conference this morning focused on concerns about the availability of shots for local residents, even with a series of mass vaccination hubs opening across the state. Officials say 9 out of 10 people getting vaccinated at the Six Flags site in Largo have been Montgomery County residents.
We cannot administer vaccines that we don't have. That's the chief issue. I can't say it any more plainly than that. The county now has the capacity to administer these vaccines. We're doing so now at a pace that we're very comfortable with. We're getting everything out the door that has been given to us, but we cannot administer a vaccine that we don't have. And so we are quickly utilizing the new first doses that we received. We have the capacity to administer additional doses when we are provided those doses by the state. And that doesn't even include, by the way, all of our healthcare partners who are helping us to administer vaccines.
Meantime, Prince George's and Baltimore City leaders held a joint virtual press conference yesterday afternoon to discuss vaccine disparities. Participants included executive and council leaders, health department officials, as well as community members.
This is about one simple thing. We're here to talk about who's being vaccinated and who's not being vaccinated. And what we know is, again, through this data, it appears that there's been a very deliberate and devastating but reversible pattern of inequity.
Here we are still with just enormous inequities in the vaccination. So, we fought that fight. We got the data. It wasn't a surprise what the data showed. And now here we are still fighting for equitable resources.
We need to sit with the governor, if not this week, next week, to say we need to change the approach to how we vaccinate our citizens. This has to happen before you all finish your session.
Senator Chris Van Hollen is among those weighing in on the racial inequities of the vaccine rollout in Maryland. Van Hollen hosted a roundtable discussion on the matter with healthcare professionals, clergy, and civil rights organizations. Each expressed their concerns that Black and brown people are getting the vaccine at half the rate of white Marylanders. The senator then spoke about measures he's taking to mitigate the problem.
We on Capitol Hill are going to take up later this week in the Senate the American Rescue Plan to provide more resources for vaccines and distribution and to deal with the economic health impact. And President Biden just recently announced that more federal vaccines will flow directly into community health centers.
You're watching CTV News. I'm Keisha Butts. We'll be back in one moment.
You're looking at me in the future. Okay. Hi, Isaac.
Hi.
Wait a second.
Do you know who I am?
Julia.
This is Jaina. Into the future. I just wanted to talk to you about what happened with those two girls.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember it was this girl that I was getting bullied by that one day at PE when they were like yelling at me, and then you just linked arms with me? I don't think you know how much like that helped me, because like I finally like knew that I had somebody. Because of you, Isaac, and what you did for me years ago, I grew up to be more independent and love myself and just be a little bit more confident.
Aw, I'm like a little tearing up right now. Just to see her in the future just blossom and look beautiful, and that was really amazing.
I moved to Florida with literally pennies in my pocket and a prayer. I needed a new start. Dacian looks like a very typical 3-year-old until you ask him, "What's your name? How old are you?" My son has a lot of behaviors that would show as being autistic. Most kids can tolerate a variety of foods, but unfortunately for Dacian, everything has to be organic and raw. I wasn't ashamed to go to the food pantries. It's expensive to eat healthy, and nutrition is very important to Dacian's health. The healthy organic food that we receive dramatically helped his social skills. Most people would say she really doesn't have much of a life, but to me, I have everything right there next to me and my son.
Welcome back. Activist groups will take to the streets in Annapolis tonight, calling on lawmakers to pass strong police reform bills. The state Senate passed a package of reform measures yesterday, but progressives say they've been watered down. The Senate bills would overhaul police disciplinary rules and require body-worn cameras. The legislation now moves to the House of Delegates. A new housing bill aims to address the financial barriers often faced by first-time home buyers. Delegate Benjamin Brooks is the lead sponsor of House Bill 1178. The measure would create a tax-free savings account to assist first-time buyers. It would let you save up to $5,000 a year with no tax consequences.
It's not that the first-time home buyer cannot afford that monthly payment. It's the initial, that cash flow that you need to go to settlement, you know, and satisfy that. Because the monthly payment, yeah, they can handle that. Just that initial payment that you need to go to settlement and make that purchase. It is timely, and I think is what we need to get more people into home ownership. And oftentimes when we speak of finances, we talk about the income statement and the balance sheet. Well, this would be considered a balance sheet item because it is talking about equity.
A hearing on this measure is expected to take place in the House next Thursday. Indiscreet remarks target a local lawmaker, and now a probe is underway. A Montgomery County Council staffer and an IT contractor are overheard commenting and laughing on an open microphone about Councilmember Nancy Navarro's accent. Navarro, the first Latina immigrant to serve on the body, was speaking about the county's diversity during a council meeting on the vaccine rollout. When the incident occurred on the Zoom call, county leaders have ordered the Office of Human Resources to conduct an investigation of the incident. In other news, more than 800 Marylanders have contracted COVID-19 in the last day. That's according to the state health department. That brings the total number of positive cases to more than 380,000. Meantime, 3 people in Maryland have died from the deadly virus in the last 24 hours. As many residents roll up their sleeves for the COVID-19 vaccine, many people are still hesitant, especially African Americans. To encourage everyone to get their shots, 2 organizations have released a new video series. It's called The Conversation Between Us About Us, and it launched today. The series features Black health experts dispelling myths about the vaccine. The first video features comedian Kamau Bell.
We know that despite Black folks having the second highest COVID mortality rate,
that they are among those who are least likely to actually get the COVID vaccine. And although the rates of Black folks who say they're interested in get the vaccine are increasing, there still is a sizable proportion of the community that just has common questions and concerns that need to be answered before they're willing and feel comfortable getting the vaccine.
The Kaiser Family Foundation and the Black Coalition Against COVID produced the video. To view the series, visit greaterthancovid.org. Well, patrons of a beloved Hyattsville restaurant have band together to raise more than $9,000 to help the owner of the eatery called Marco Polo. Was only open for about 2 years before it had to shut down its doors. The owner says the COVID-19 pandemic has hit this business hard.
Georgia County, close again, open again, close again, open again, you know. And then last time just give me news, just said 25% you can open. But I opened the restaurant, but no customer coming, the dining.
A lot of people in the neighborhood were very interested in helping the restaurant survive because we've grown to love it. And the three of us were just the most motivated, each for our own slightly different reasons. But, you know, basically, people love the food and people love Garat.
The owner says he's currently looking for a smaller space in College Park. For more information, visit GoFundMe.com and search Marco Polo. Well, let's get a quick check on our 3-day weather forecast tonight. Mostly clear with a low around 25 degrees. Friday, sunny with a high near 45 and a low around 28. Saturday, sunny with a high near 44 and a low around 27 degrees. Sunday, also sunny with daytime temps in the mid-40s and an evening low near 28. And now for the community calendar, the local charitable organization House of Cleopatra Couture Foundation is giving back to those in need. The group is giving away thousands of brand new coats and clothes for children and adults. The event is Saturday, March 6th at the House of Cleopatra HQ located along Cherry Lane in Laurel. Items will be given away on a first-come, first-served basis. For more information, call 240-729-0200. And that wraps our CTV News update. Join us again tomorrow at 4:30. Have a good night and stay safe.
I am what child hunger looks like in America. I am a 9-year-old boy who hopes a friend invites me to a sleepover so I can have dinner. I am a 15-year-old girl who goes for walks during lunch so my friends won't know I don't have anything to eat. I am a 13-year-old boy who gets into fights at school just because I'm hungry. I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 7 American children who struggle with hunger. Kids you pass by every day but never knew they were hungry.
Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
There was a time in my life where I was extremely homesick. I decided that I needed a pet. When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. He jumped up and kissed me and jumped right into my arms. I immediately went up to the volunteers at the shelter and said, I want him. He's gotta come home with me. Now I'm anything but lonely. Every day with Turtle is a perfect day and keeps me company when I'm doing schoolwork. I like it when he jumps up on the table too. He is a veggie thief. He's an incredible companion and my best friend. Can't say that I've met anybody that doesn't love him too. When I adopted Turtle, I discovered all the things that make him unique. He's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly he's all pure love.